I have two more questions. I want to take them on our screen right now. Question number one. Should farmers be allowed to protest in Delhi? 71% of land-owning farmers say yes, farmers should be allowed to protest in the capital. 72% of laborers say they should be allowed to protest in the capital. 53% of non-farmers also say they should be allowed to protest in Delhi. I mean, if they want to protest, should they be allowed? This is what the C voter data has found. Is the use of force against protesters justified? 29% of non-farmers say yes. 23% of landless laborers say yes. 21% of land-owning farmers say yes, but 62% of land-owning farmers say no. 58% of laborers say no, and 52% of even the non-farming community says no. And I think that is also the reality, that you don't want force to be used against the Andata. You can't say Andata, and then start using force, which is also why the government is continuing to talk to the farmers, try and find some solution, doesn't want to get into a confrontation, and most definitely not a violent confrontation with the protesters. So I want to quickly conclude, and I want to ask you first, and I want to start by putting this question to Harish Damodaran of what happens to the protests from here. Do these continue? Do these potentially escalate? Do they scale down? What's your sense?
Rahul, I don't know about how the current protests are, but I can tell you that the MSP as a legal right, or let us say something kind of a right to a fair price, is going to have traction, okay? And it is going to come back in some way or the other, okay? This is number one, okay? Number two, see, India has too many mouths to feed, okay? And if farmers decide that, it's not worth farming, okay, we are going to come to it's going to be a very serious problem. Okay, we need to somehow assure either income to the farmer or price to the farmer. Okay, we cannot run away from this, because both these things, And number three, the risks to production are increasing. I mean, whether it is because of pests and diseases, whether it is because of abiotic stresses, whether it is because of unseasonal rains. So if the farmer doesn't have a basic price assurance, it's very unlikely that they are going to remain in this business, and I would be very worried.
But it's not a bad idea for some of the farmers to leave farming and to do other things. Might not be an illogical thing. You want people in farming, but you don't want the current number of people. They have to look outside farming. Too many people being in farming is also part of the problem.
So which is why I'm saying we need to look at this MSP thing, dispassionately, eschewing ideological positions, and can we work on this thing? I believe that it is possible,
Okay, so we've had a fascinating conversation. I'm completely out of time, but I want to thank our guests for joining us, because in all of what I've heard, read and seen so far, we haven't had as wide-ranging a conversation from a market perspective, an economic perspective, an ideological perspective on the problems and potential solutions to the challenges of the demand for a legalized minimum support price.